John Lai, and I'm the Director of Commercial Displays within HP. And one of the cool things about our business is that I'm actually part of an overall business that spans both our consumer business, so everything from our Pavilion and Envy lineup all the way to our professional class displays in Z, as well as we have a couple of smart displays that you guys might be familiar with, like the Slate 21 Pro and Slate 21. The fun part is that we get to look at technologies across the entire spectrum and then figure out what's the best place to bring them into our customer segments. And a great example of that is the Dream Color technology, which you guys all were, I think we brought many of you with us to Las Vegas, where at NAB we showcased two new Dream Color displays, the Z27X and the Z24X, where we really revolutionized the color critical workflow by having things like best-in-class color, as well as having things that really enhance the color critical workflow for our customer, like supporting hostless calibration or professional calibration studio equipment directly on the display. Now today, what we want to do is kind of build on this technology and show you a few things that we're working on coming up. All right, you guys ready? All right, so the first area that we're going to talk about is curved displays. And so I think a lot of you are really familiar with curved displays, probably from TVs, right? And you might have seen them at CES, or maybe you own one. This is a technology that we are interested in for our PC and desktop and notebook users, primarily because it is one of the key areas that works across all of our segments, from consumers all the way to professional users. And one of the main things that you think about with curved displays, which is different than a TV, is that you're actually sitting right in the middle of it. So it's immersive, it wraps around you, and you really get to experience it. Where with the TV, you're hanging on the wall, you see the curvature, but you don't really get to a lot of the benefits. So I'm going to show you an example of one of ours. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to do this so that I don't disrupt the other one. So this is a example prototype of a curved display. And one of the things you'll notice is that it really delivers kind of a different form factor. And you can see that for a lot of our customers, displays are becoming larger, because we all know that bigger is better. And when you actually have it on your desk or you have it in your home, it actually is a piece of furniture that you actually want to express your style. So one of our first customer bases that this is going to be a really good segment for is early adopters, both in home, that are really trying to showcase their style, as well as business customers who are using their technology equipment to express their technological innovation. And so you can think about a lot of our customers today are using displays more and more in customer engaging environments, and this lets them have a different form factor. The curvature lets you do a lot of different things with the look and feel, not just from the front, but also from the back and from any angle. So it's really stunning from any view, which is a great complement to the front of screen visual performance. And so this is really one of the key areas that is going to deliver a lot of interesting innovation. And when you get to larger screens, the look and feel is more and more important, so that you don't have something that just looks like a regular panel on your desk. The second key area that we're focused on is, you can think about when you get to larger screens, and a lot of you guys, and I know like John talks about it, he has a 30-inch, and he has, a lot of people have more than one 30-inch, like Michael did. As things get larger and larger, it's really difficult to kind of see everything as comfortably on your desk. And so when you have a curved display, you're going to be able to look, your peripheral viewing is going to be a little bit more comfortable. You're going to be able to have an easier time to see the information on the edge. So this is a really good fit. Bless you. Really good fit for our game developers or CAD designers or anyone working in a situation where they're using large screens already or they're using more than one. Because a lot of times when you're using two, you're already angling them to some extent. And so this is helping you provide that curvature so it's a little bit easier to see. And the other thing is a great fit for is a lot of people are putting these into conference rooms or lobbies where they're actually being able to have that great experience up close.
Did you say this is a prototype?
This is a working model, yes.
Okay, but you're not announcing a product today, right?
We are not announcing a product today. We are showing some examples of the technologies here.
Okay.
So this is one example of how to implement a curved display that we're working on. HP is looking at multiple sizes and aspect ratios in this space because we think it's something that will be a key benefit for our customers. All right, any other questions on that topic?
And it's LCD based?
Correct, it's LCD based, correct. All right. Well, the third area around curved displays that we think is a benefit or a customer is really the immersive experience. So this obviously, this is a kind of a standard 16:9 aspect ratio panel, but combined with other technologies and features like going to ultra-wide aspect ratio, you're able to do other things like put speakers on the sides to get a better stereo experience, or give yourself a more immersive experience overall. And this is going to be a really good fit for either gamers, movie watchers, people who are consuming content where their wraparound experience is really critical to how their viewing and hearing is going to happen. So this is really where we think there's a key benefit to not just professional users, like I mentioned earlier, but also across the spectrum to home users. Okay, great. And so hopefully you'll be able to come up and take a look at this in person, and we're going to have these set up so you can actually try it and see what it looks like. Okay, so the next area on kind of immersing a viewing that we want to share with you is on interactive 3D viewing. Okay, so I think a lot of you are asking, well, geez, I know about 3D, and it's actually great that David actually talked about 3D viewing because it's a really good segue into this experience. And I think what we want to talk to you about is that this is not your typical 3D viewing experience. So why are we interested in 3D viewing at this time? So a lot of it is, if you look at the virtual environments, and like David talked about this, they're getting good enough so that we don't have to actually spend the time to do the real environment. It actually helps kind of speed things up or remove opportunities for a better workflow. And so what we're doing is we are partnering with ZSpace, a company who has a lot of experience in this area, to bring a technology that is going to provide you a viewing experience that's just not your typical 3D viewing experience. Right now, 3D viewing traditionally has just been about consumption and seeing information. This is really an almost holographic experience that you're going to have. But not only are you seeing something in a holographic experience, you're actually able to interact with it and touch it and manipulate it, turn it upside down, slice it, dice it, cut it. I mean, there's lots of different usages that people come up with daily. And I think this is really where it's exciting for us because it's a very great complement to our workstation business, because it requires high-end graphics, high-end machines to really chew through all the information to kind of generate this, generate this look and feel. So I'm going to actually unveil kind of the actual technology here, and then we'll show you some actual something showing up there.
As you can plainly see.
Okay, right. So really, you're thinking, okay, what are some of the key segments that this would be a really good fit for? So there's lots of different usages, and today, you know, we heard about David. I'm thinking, this is a great opportunity for how we can fit into thinking about spatial exploration, you know, anatomy as well as the mouth. But there are three major segments that we think this is a really good fit. Number one is in education and training, and you can think about today students, they go through a lot of learning, and it's teachers try to make it as experiential as possible, and with a lot of investments in science, technology, engineering, and math, this is a great fit for education because things like dissecting a frog can be done virtually, and they can actually learn a lot more things about how much force do you have to exert on a ball to knock over a bunch of blocks. And so it's a really great opportunity to have that experience, and as we'll show you a quick demo in just a second of kind of what this 3D experience looks like. The second area within education is in training. So today, if you think about, even today when we talk to our service and support reps about how to support our end customers, we have to train them on our products. This allows us to have an opportunity to do that virtually, where they can get a thorough view of the product itself. The second area is really in design and creation. So you can think that people work in architecture or product design intrinsically and inherently think in 3D mode. This really lets them have a better way to look at this in terms of visualizing it, as well as sharing it with either coworkers or end customers, and hopefully help remove some of the prototyping out of the workflow. So this is a great fit there. And the third area is in really geophysical exploration and spatial design. So you think about a lot of our customers who are spending a lot of time and energy understanding what geospatial formations are like or what a cave looks like remotely. This lets you model it out, kind of explore it, and actually go in and see what are some of the opportunities. All right, well, great. So I'm going to show you, this is the next part, is pretty cool. So one of the main things about 3D viewing today is that it is primarily a single user sitting in front of a screen experience. And so other people can't really see a lot of that same experience or what you're seeing. So one of the cool things about this technology, I'm going to try to see if I can do this without, is that with zSpace, our partner here, we are working on a technology which they're calling zView. So it allows someone to actually look at something in 3D, but then share it also with other people in the room. So you can imagine that if Steve here, he's showing butterflies, and the reason why we're showing butterflies is earlier we were talking about dissecting, cutting, and kind of violent things. We wanted to show that we can be pacifists as well. And so Steve is showing here a butterfly that he's looking at in 3D, and he's looking at it in 3D, and you can see it moving and fluttering. Well, what you guys are seeing is a rendering of what he's seeing. So you can see that you can have one student in the room dissecting a frog, and everyone else in the room can kind of learn from their experience. Or someone actually learning and training on how to rebuild an engine, and then everyone else in the room being able to do the same thing. So I think that's pretty cool. Great. So, I just wanted to summarize that for HP, we started the journey with a lot of technology in displays. And, part of the solution of the Z family is to be able to have this visual solution that's a complement to our workstations. And overall, the displays help build upon the pipeline that the workstations work in. And so these couple technologies are extensions of what we want to do and share with our customers the things that are coming out in the future, and really kind of getting us to a much more immersive experience. So hopefully you guys will have a chance to come by and take a look at some of these demos. We have Greg Staten, who Jim mentioned earlier today, is our chief color architect for the Dream Color systems. He's going to be here sharing both the new displays as well as some enhancements that have happened even since we've launched it. And then we're going to have the 3D interactive display and the curved display up front here, and so you guys can come take a look at it yourself. Oh yes, and I have one. I don't have it with me. I forgot to bring it up here, but we can maybe I'll show it to you guys when you come up here. We did just announce yesterday a portable display. It's USB based, and it's something. And Greg, I don't know if you have a chance to look in my backpack there. I have it at the back there, but it is a portable display that is a 14-inch 1600 by 900 resolution that is pretty much as thin as most mobile phones and about the size of a piece of paper. And the main usage model here is to be able to have a second screen on the go. Most of you guys are using more than one display, right? So the cool thing is that when I'm traveling, I get really irked because I feel like it can't really be very productive on the go. And so what this actually does is it provides a second screen that you can use with your notebook. Uses just one USB cable for both power and video, and you can have a second screen wherever you are. So it's a perfect fit for a lot of our users that, like real estate agents, where they're presenting something to an end customer on the road, or consultants where they're working at an off-site office, or even traveling on a plane, train, or in a hotel room. So I'll be able to show this to you guys as well.
What price?
This is it's $169. Yep.
Does it work with Mac OS 10?
Does it work with OS 10? That's a great question. I have to double check on the Mac compatibility. So right now today is working.
You're just being a smart.
We can try it on the fly, right? So right now it is working.
It works great on the mobile workstation from HP.
So yeah, so definitely come take a look at this later today when we're showing you a lot of our other technology demos.
Does it have, or do you have any other displays with touch?
Do we have any other displays with touch? Yes, we do have multiple displays with touch today. So we have our S230TM, which is an optical-based touch solutions, 23 inches, that we have that actually reclines down to the desk. We also have multiple what I call industrial-type touch displays that are for retail point of sale, and those are, we have several sizes, 15-inch up to 17-inch, and then we actually support touch on these large screens, so both 42 and 47-inch. And the main use there is for wayfinders, right, kiosks and things like that. A lot of customers like to put them into, when you first walk into a store, you can use this to navigate their store or some of their menu items.
Are those optical as well, or are they capacitive?
Those are not capacitive, right? Yeah. So we have various different technologies, and I can kind of give you some details about each display because they're all using slightly different ones.